Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft here on the Truly Bedrock server. I am your host, BJ, and here we are in the midst of holiday season. I hope you guys are having a great one between Thanksgiving and Christmas. In fact, we have a Truly Bedrock stream coming up this weekend. This is probably going to come out after that stream, but I hope you guys enjoyed that stream weekend. But we're starting off here at the base. Last episode, we talked a little bit about the death machine, and I said I would come over here and show you guys a little thing that I learned about how this death machine works. Not only, oh geez, I almost died again. Not only how the death machine works a little bit, but also something I learned about setting your spawn point. And it makes a difference, not only in this death machine, but it might make a difference someplace in your world how you've got this going on. So what I learned was, let's go ahead and take out these strings so it doesn't push me off again until I'm ready for it to. Did I just lose a string down there? I did. Well, buy string. I don't need you right now. But if you come up to your bed and it's blocked, so this has got only a block and a half, and then it's got solid blocks above it, so it's going to kick me out somewhere, and where it's going to kick me is into the point where I'm standing when I set my spawn point on that bed. So I happen to have been standing like right on the cross where this happens. I didn't know this until later. I realized it when I clicked on this and set my spawn point. But if I'm standing squarely in the middle of this block right here, and then I click on it, that would have made this death machine work a lot better. But because I stood at this kind of crossing point between these two, I had to set it up where I had two of these. So I made it much more complicated than it actually needed to be, but that's all right. It worked. I'm not even sure where am I at, 158 deaths. I've had a couple since that episode, but either way, it actually worked really well. So I think this episode, we've got a couple things we're going to do. I've got a giant concrete maker that I've been working on with a couple of streams, and now have a block that is 1,440 blocks of concrete that I have to go tear down. I'm probably going to do that on the stream tomorrow. I haven't quite decided yet. We will have to wait and see. But the two things I'm going to work on in today's episode, well, let's go over here and I'm going to show you a couple of things that are happening over here. I don't know what's going on here. It's kind of a little bit ridiculous. But I've been working on kind of finishing this guy up a little bit. I've got some of the interiors done. Some of the exteriors, for the most part, are finished. I still have to do the cobble all the way around and get that thing finished off. But I've also been starting to land some of these bigger buildings that are going to happen in here. And what I've decided I want this little area to be is I want these buildings to be like 3-4 stories tall and really kind of looming over this space. And then I think we'll end up with probably some sort of like a water feature in the middle of this guy. Then we'll start really landscaping around it and beefing it up a little bit. But two of the things we're going to work on today, or I should say one of the two things we're going to work on today, is I have the plan for a veggie farm over here. And right now, I think what I want to do is on the first floor is going to be a melon farm. And so I have to think about how I'm going to lay this out. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So we'll have a melon farm. And today we're going to work on the mechanics of that melon farm a little bit. And then the second floor is going to be a villager veggie farm. And then maybe also a fast veggie farm up there. I haven't quite decided yet, because this is going to be feeding into, we might have to go sleep here really quick, into the villager trading hall, which is going to be right here. So I need to have this pretty close. In fact, I may actually have this pipe, all the goods out of that directly over into this building so that I have quick access to them. I haven't quite decided yet. And then the other thing we're going to do, besides going to sleep really quick, there we go, that's better, is that we have to come up here and work on this bad boy today. So this, in our last stream, we got this thing renovated. So it's been completely renovated. Our RV is ready to go. We talked a little bit in the stream about what the tires are going to look like, and I now have all the blocks -2, I think, so I can at least get one side done. So we'll still have one side up on jack stands, but that's all right. But we have this to move over into the area over here that I'll show you. My 1,440 blocks of concrete that I had to tear down. And then last stream, I also worked a little bit on starting to lay out where the mansion's going to be. And I decided after stream that I don't like it right here. I'm going to move it a little bit closer up to the edge of this hill. But the one thing that we are going to have within this mansion over here is, so this wall is sort of separating a main entrance that's coming into the mansion. That'll be like the front door. And then over here, I'm going to have a garage. So it's going to be on this side of the wall. And then above that wall, we'll have some more spaces. That'll actually be the recording studio above that. And we'll have some music in there. But the thing is, I need to move this a little bit. This is a garage, and that is where the RV is going to go. So we'll probably move this over and up a little bit, probably in between scenes at some point. That way you don't have to sit here and watch me build this. But then we're going to build the floor of the garage, and then we're going to move the RV into the garage, and that'll be good. I'm looking forward to that. But before we get started on that, I want to get started on my little redstone build over here for the melon farm. What is going on? Who is coming over here and pranking me with all this stuff? This is a little bit weird that this stuff just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, we talked a little bit about doing a melon farm. I was going to do it right here. As I started laying out a little bit more of my village, I started kind of getting over into the space a little bit and decided that I would scoot it over here. I needed a little bit more room. You can see I laid it out just a little bit. Let's go ahead and set down our redstone box here. So I have quite a bit of stuff in here. I went ahead and tore down completely the concrete maker, and that's why I have so many pistons at this point, because I had, I don't know, there was like 12 by 12, so there was like 145 pistons over there. But we're going to get started on our melon farm, and I have a little bit different design than you typically see. A lot of times you'll see the one where Silent Whisper has a really good tutorial on his channel. Check the cards. I think I'll probably go ahead and link to it. But the idea behind it is that all the stuff, the melons are on the ground plane, and the observers and the pistons are above it one block, and the pistons will shoot down and break it off, and then underneath you'll have a big track system. And I decided I didn't want to have a big track system. I've had other farms before that I've had that in the past, and on multiplayer servers the tracks and the carts tend to break, and I just didn't want to go that route. So I have a different sort of design that I've been working on, and it's nothing groundbreaking. So it's literally groundbreaking, I suppose, when you're using pistons, but it is my own design, so I thought that would be kind of fun. So the idea behind it is that you have a piston and a observer. I'm gonna have to move these over. Actually, that's pointed the wrong direction. Let's point it the right way, but it's like this. And so you'll have a stalk for the melon in front of the observer, and then over here is where the melon can grow. And then you'll just alternate these down through an area, and then you'll have water on one side that this will break off to, and it pushes it into the water stream, and the water stream delivers it down to hoppers that then collect it and take it elsewhere. And so the good thing about this is that I can have it be, I think it's 7 blocks wide, which is why I laid it out this way, including redstone. So I actually have to move these over a little bit. So this will be the water stream right here, and this will be the growing, this will be where the pistons and the observers go, and then this is where the redstone goes. And then I can close it in with the building, and it works really, really well. I can do 2 sides of it, and then I can go as tall as I want to. But we'll probably do, I'm going to guess, 2 or 3 layers to start with. And then the thing is, I can use a very similar design over here on this side for sugarcane, and maybe even for bamboo too. We'll have to see if that's how I want to use it. And so the idea is that I'll end up with a melon farm here, a sugarcane farm here, and then when this goes up, on top of that, we'll be able to put a veggie farm above that. And then it'll all feed down into the same system, which will then carry everything over here to our villager trading hall. So that is the idea. Let's go ahead and get to building this. I'll probably just do it as a building montage, since I still don't have the ability to do a time lapse in Bedrock, which I hope Bedrock is going to figure out what all these bugs are soon, so we can upgrade to the latest version, because we're still on the older version, and it's driving me crazy. I can't use RTX or anything. Come on, Mojang. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and pull these up, and let's build this together. Wrong place. Let's move it back. the structure of it is complete now. We need to start setting up the collection system and to revise, or not revise, but to add a couple of elements here in the middle that are going to help all of this work together. So like I showed earlier, it's pretty straightforward. You just have alternating observers and pistons, and then on the back side, one observer will observe it. It'll do the whole row of pistons, which is the way I actually want it to work. So basically each row just extends every time one grows anyone in that row. And I tried to set it up so that it was you know, a little bit more efficient than that, so you just have like one piston or two pistons per observer. But even when you look at the one that Silent has built and the typical ones that are all facing down, you know, one observer will trigger 4 pistons at once. So this isn't an unusual way to do it, and you know, its potential, it might slow it down a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough to make it any sort of concern. So the first thing we need to do is I'm going to go ahead and clear. Ooh, a little too far down there. Oop. This is the problem with having a a really powerful set of beacons over here. I got the beacons are a little too strong. Yeah, it's kind of weird that all that red stuff is growing up around the beacons, but it's not something I don't think to worry about. I don't know what it is, but I think if we get this part set up pretty well, let's see, let's go ahead and place this, because this is going to end at some point. I may have gone a little too far. Yeah, a little bit too far. And normally what I would do is I would actually have it going this direction, so that so I'd have another water source over here coming this direction to a hopper in the middle, and then that hopper would carry it out. But I actually want it all going to this end because we're going to be going that direction. So I'm going to go ahead and step it down one block here so that we're flowing this direction. Then let's get this stuff out of the way right here. Man, problem with having beacons and this powerful of a shovel is this will be, you know, it tears stuff up so easily. Let's go here. There we go. And then we're going to want to have the hopper right here, going probably in this direction. So we're going to go ahead and just put a couple of hoppers here and there we go, and that should work pretty well. We'll have 2 there. That'll help collect it, because there's going to be enough falling off of here. It's a good idea to have 2 of these here, so they're collecting it and they're sending it in that direction. So I'll just set up a chest right down there, and that should be good enough. But here I'm going to show you the other thing that I need to do here as well before we start going through and planting everything. The idea is that I want to have an oak fence, or any fence. I'm just happen to be using oak because I have lots and lots of them. Let's see if I can get down here and get it set. That's close enough. But what I want is I want this coming down right here, because I need to have something in the middle that's going to prevent the piston from pushing the pumpkins and the melons across to the other side. And so what this will do is this will intercept it, and there's enough of a gap between the fence and what's going on down below that it will it'll not hop over it, and it'll still hit it and drop down. And then when we have on the upper ones, if I can figure out, let's see, how am I going to get up here? Let's take this. Let me get up here. Then we're going to do the same thing up in here as well. We're going to do another one here, but you might ask yourself, but if it hits it and knocks it down, could it fall on top of the one below? And it could, but the other thing we're going to do is we're actually going to add water channels at each level, so that we can also, let's see, I need to go grab another water really quick. We just grab it out of here. Oops, like that. Hopefully that doesn't mess it up. Okay, that's good. But we need to put in, let's see, let's use, hopefully this doesn't, okay, that's good. I was afraid that might create a water source there, which would wipe out all of my redstone, which it certainly didn't want. Let's go ahead and take these guys out of the way. We're just using that to start with. Then I'll have something on the end here like this. Let's go ahead and jump up one. We need to be able to look down here. And now what I can do is I set this right here. And what this will do is, besides moving water, besides moving items, it'll also prevent them from jumping too far. It'll make them fall straight down, because it'll hit this, it'll fall down, and then it'll drop straight down, so it won't drop on top of the fence below it. This also adds the water source that we need for each block to be able to become farmland, so that we can grow the melons on it. So I'll just complete the rest of this, and then we'll come back and start planting stuff. And that just about completes it for all the seeds that I have right now. I do have enough seeds to go ahead and finish this upper level with the pumpkin seeds at least, but I wanted to make sure and have all the melons on one side and pumpkins on the other. And I'm a few melons short on this side, so I need another, I don't know, dozen or so of the melon seeds. So we'll just go ahead and let this run for a little while. And as soon as I start collecting it, I'll grab those, and then I'll go ahead and complete this guy out here on the top. And that should be pretty much for the most part done. I'm going to go ahead and route the hoppers over here a little ways so I can be able to collect those pretty easily. And then we'll be done with this for today, which I'm pretty excited about because I've been needing this for a while. And once I have this in place, I think I'll be able to start getting those villagers going so that I have some trading materials. I've already got a little bit of sugarcane in the background there. I got a pretty good store of it in the storage rooms. Oh, and speaking of, let's go take a quick look at the storage rooms. I went ahead and did a bunch of upgrades on there. And then once we're actually done with that, rather than working on the RV today, this episode's already getting pretty close to being long enough. Let's go check out all the Christmas stuff that we got. It's been a week or so since Christmas was over, so let's go check out the presents that are under the tree. So I did a little bit of work over the weekend, this last weekend, and I got, I was a little bit tired of the mess that I had going on down here and the bottom of my building here. So I went ahead and came down and cleaned it up and did a fair amount of work and just kind of setting up all these little alcoves that I can put deep storage into. So like I have dirt there and tons of cobble, and I've got stone over here. So this is stuff that I no longer have room up in my main storage room that's coming down here. And so this will be all the deep bulk storage, and this will also be shulker storage. So any of the shulkers that I'm not using will get stored in these little alcoves. It kind of feels like it's a basement storage area, like a wine cellar almost. And then we will have also a handful of our actual workstations and things like that down here that I don't want to try and cram up into there. So the blast furnaces and things like that are all going to be over here. Kind of a mini smoker station. It looks like I ran out of fuel, but I already have quite a bit of stuff in there. So I got plenty of meat in there. So I have that, and then I made a new entrance over here to my new cave that's going down to the spider spawners. So I can come up in here into the lower basement, or I can come up here into the actual building. So a fair amount of work underground last weekend. I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out. But before we end this episode, let's go check out and see what we got for Christmas. Here's the Christmas tree, and there's DB's. He hasn't picked his up yet. That's all right. Hopefully he'll get it soon. Is this mine? BJ, there we go. Okay, that's Marcos mentioned that there was another one here for me, which I don't think that there was. I just don't think I hadn't picked mine up yet. So let's see what we got in here. I don't know who this came from, but we got tons of yummy cooked chicken, which is good. Even though I just showed I had tons of meat. Rockets are always helpful. Diamonds, gotta love diamonds. Beacon is going to be hugely helpful, as are the shulkers. Oh, all mail gift card. Let's see what this is. Oh, an all mall gift card. Let's see what this. Oh, does it say anything on there? It's just a gift card. Okay. Doesn't say what it's good for. I'm assuming that that's just good for 1 diamond's worth of goods at the all mall, which is really helpful. I really appreciate that. Oh, sweet. So I got food, shulkers, netherite ingots, a beacon, which is going to be super useful. And then, well, I guess this was my shulker to begin with, so I didn't get an extra shulker. But there were still 8 shulker shells in there, so that's amazing. Oh, look at those the stormtroopers in the background. Slack, you did such a good job on that, my man. But anyway, that's what we got for Christmas. I really appreciate whoever my Secret Santa was. I have a sneaking suspicion maybe it was Foxy, but it's a little hard to tell for sure. But that beacon's going to come in useful. The diamonds are going to be useful. Everything in there is super useful. So thank you, whoever gave that to me. I really appreciate that. But I think that is going to do it for today's episode. I really appreciate it. You guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. It was a relatively quick episode, but we have a couple of other ones coming out in pretty quick succession, I think. And then we do have another TB stream day coming up at the end of January, so make sure and check out the Discords and come by and say hi. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, give it an old good thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And we will see you guys in the next episode from Truly Bedrock. Maybe I'll go put my beacon down. I need some more power. Bye bye.